Hello, my name's Tom Wyatt. I'm a fractional CIO at SafetyNet. Today we want to take the opportunity to introduce you to Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is a communication and collaboration tool within the Office 365 suite. So if you use Office 365 to access Office applications and email, you likely already have this powerful collaboration tool. And since it's part of Office 365, you can use it just about anywhere. So as you may see, I'm at home in my basement and I'm using Teams. So it's a great tool for the remote workspace. If you're working at home, it's a wonderful tool to have. So let's roll right into it. I'd like to bring in my colleague, Carrie Grant, and she'll walk us through getting started with Teams and run through some basic features. Hello, Carrie. How's
Hi,
it going?
Tom. Good, thank you.
Good.
So as Tom mentioned, Teams is a component of O365 that is designed to be a collaboration tool for your organization. It's like having multiple applications rolled into one. And in this video, we'll first talk about accessing Microsoft Teams. So how do you get to it? We'll also talk about chat, which is a useful feature, and teams within Teams, and how those teams can be used for channels for ongoing collaboration. And then we'll take a really quick overview of the Activities tab within Teams. So first of all, how do we access it? If you click on your Start on your PC or do your search through Mac and type in Teams, you should see the application listed there as a best match. If you don't have it listed there, then your IT team can help you get that installed, or you can go to the Office 365 website, and when you log in, you should see Teams as an option there. So that would be using Teams on a web browser. And then the third option is to have Teams installed on a mobile device. So as Tom was saying, you can use Teams anywhere. So if you have it installed on your phone, anywhere that you are, you have the ability to communicate and collaborate with your team. So now that we know where to access Teams, let's jump into the application itself. So this is an application that I have installed on my computer, and I can also access it online, but this is easiest for me. So on the application itself, we have multiple options here along the left side. In this demo, we're going to go through the chat, the teams, and the activity. The others in here we'll hit at another time. So under chat, you can see here, we're looking at a chat that I have going on with Tom. Along the top, we're seeing the recent activity that I have. If I select contacts, it gives me an ability to define contact groups. So I have my favorites, I have other groups that we have defined in here. Down here at the bottom, I have the ability to create any group that I want to be able to see the individuals within there and whether or not they're available, and to be able to quickly chat with somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new contact group here. And let's call this our Teams Demo Collab. I scroll down, I have my Teams Demo Collab down here, and I can click on the little dot, 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 and I can add people into this group, or I can rename it or delete it if I would like. So since Tom and I are going to be doing this demo together, I'll go ahead and add him. So I type in Tom, and it brings up everybody Tom related in my contacts. So I add him, there he is, and I can add as many people as I want to this group. Let's say I want to now add Jenny. There's our friendly Jenny peoples.
All right.
So now that I have a group created in here, it's a really quick, easy way for me to select somebody and be able to have conversations with them. So you can also, if you have a chat here, so we have our Teams Demo Collab, and I'm going to communicate. Just say hi. And there's Tom. All right. Some other things that you can do if you have conversations with multiple people, you can add them in from here as well. So here's my conversation that I have with Tom, where we've been chatting. Over here along the top, I can also add somebody in here. So let's say I want to add Jenny. Jenny is now part of this conversation. So anything from this point forward, both Jenny and Tom will be able to see.
That's a really cool feature when you want to bring someone else into the conversation. You're chatting with someone and it's like, hey, we need this person's involvement. Go up to the little people icon, add them, and they're in the chat.
Right. So you can see in here, we now have the option to add more people, or I could actually leave this. So let's say, for example, Tom and I were having a conversation and we needed to pull in Jenny to figure something out. But then it got to a point where the conversation was really between Tom and Jenny and didn't need to include me anymore. I could actually leave this conversation and then the conversation continues with the two of them chatting back and forth. So now that I have this conversation going between Jenny and Tom, let's say I don't want to lose this in the midst of all of the other chats that I have going on throughout the day. If I click again on the little options button here, I can mark something as unread here. So that makes it red so that I know that I need to, or makes it bold so that I know that I need to go back to it. I also have the ability to pin something here. So if I pin it, you see it moved from my recent activity up to the pinned activity here because it's something that I'm regularly monitoring. I can also hide this. I can unpin it. I can hide it. There's an ability to add other apps, which we'll talk about later. And again, I can leave from here. So that's really the main feature of chat is the ability to talk with one person or multiple people at the same time. So down at the bottom here, and actually, I think I'll go ahead and remove Jenny from this and we'll just chat back and forth with Tom.
Sure. Easy as that.
Easy as that. So now we're just chatting with Tom again. Now it's not actually Tom's birthday, but let's say it's his birthday and I want to use some of these fun features down here at the bottom to have a conversation with him. So this first button here allows me to format what I'm going to say to him. So this is just like all of your other Office applications, like your Word application where you're typing something out and you want to make something bold or do your indenting and all of those different types of things. So I'm going to say, birthday, Tom. And maybe I want to make that bold. We can do that. And then I just hit enter. And you can see because I have this popped up, I can continue typing things in here. We'll put him on the spot. How old are you? You don't have to actually answer that, Tom. Okay, so we've got our chat going on there. A couple other little options down here along the bottom. This here gives us some options for how important is this conversation that I'm sending. A lot of times you might be chatting with somebody and it's not urgent. But once in a while, you need to reach out to somebody and you need a response from that person right away. So a couple different options here. If you mark something as important, then if I sent something to Tom and I marked it important, he would see this over here along the left as something that he needs to look at right away. So then it doesn't blend in with the other things that are bold. And then the urgent here, this one actually sends a little pop-up notification on his computer every 2 minutes for 20 minutes, trying to get his attention. So those are great ways to be able to send an urgent message to somebody if you're not sitting right next to that person and able to just reach over and say hi and get the answer that you need.
Yeah, and the chat tool is great for that versus email. It's right there. It's going to alert them. It's great for, urgent questions or just quick questions
It is.
versus email.
It is. So a couple other options here, attach. So you can attach a file. You could actually drag and drop files right into this, this message section here as well. And then, of course, we have to touch on the emojis. So we have lots of funny emojis. Again, we're going to pretend it's Tom's birthday. So we'll send him a quick birthday gift there. The next one over, we also have GIFs. There are tons of these. So if you enjoy this, I'm gonna say happy birthday. Really quick running through a couple others. There are stickers. So not GIFs, but images like that. There's also an option down here for scheduling a meeting, which we will get into in the next segment of our Teams demo. We'll talk about that. And then these other ones here are these are apps that you may or may not have. You can define which apps are available within your teams. So one here that we have that's really nice that we use frequently at SafetyNet is Poly. So Poly actually gives you an ability to poll people that you're having a conversation with. So if we had multiple people on this chat, then we could create a poll asking a question here. You can say it's multiple choice or an open-ended, things like that. And so I can type a question and give the choices here and then get a response to tell me which option has been voted the most. Okay. So that's really Teams chat in a nutshell. So now let's go over to where we're saying the teams within the teams. So if I click on Teams here on the left, this is where you can have groups of individuals that have an ability to collaborate with each other. And you can see we have multiple teams set up. We have a team for the entire SafetyNet organization. We have a team set up for the leadership team, support services group, which is our help desk team. That's our collaboration team right there. So you set up a team and then you can define who is included in that team and what permissions they have. So these teams can be public or private. So on this one, for example, if I click on here, you can see I have the ability to manage the team where I can change the name or add new people. I can add channels within there. So each of these separate lines underneath here are called channels. And when you create a new team, the general channel is created by default, but then you can add others that make sense to you. However, it makes sense for you to divide up and collaborate separately.
And again, you can have some fun with it. As you see, we set up a Spirit Week channel to just show our spirit during the stay-at-home order. So just having a little fun with that.
Right. So we like to create new channels in here for different things like that, so we can keep them separate and know that we have a place to talk about those specific things. So within the channel, so we have our, like Tom was mentioning, we have our Spirit Week channel here. And within the channel, each of these different sections here is called a separate conversation. So down at the bottom here, you can start a new conversation by typing in here, or within here, you can reply to an existing conversation. And then whatever you reply is visible to everybody who has permission to view that channel. So down at the bottom of the screen here is where we can join or create a new team. So I'm going to go ahead and create a team specific to our demo that we're doing right now. And I want this to be private. I only want a couple of people to be involved in this team. So again, if I say Tom here, Oh, that's actually, I say, so now I have a new team created for us. And I'm going to skip this because we just want to have our standard general there.
Mm-hmm.
So now we want to add people to this. We'll go ahead and we'll add Tom. And let's add Jenny as well. Okay, so now we have Tom and Jenny as part of our team's collab. And I can move this around. So let's say I want this right up here underneath our main safety net.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have a team created. And I can message, when I put a message in here, that sends a message to everybody who has access to this. So Tom and Jenny can both see this. If I want to make sure that it pops up, because right now, Tom should be getting an email letting him know that he's been added to this, and it'll pop up within his teams also as letting him know that he's been added to a new team. But until he follows this team, he won't actually get notified when we make changes to it. And that's a really important part of this collaboration, is you don't want your teams to become so noisy that it's distracting to you and making it so that you're unable to concentrate on the important things that you're doing. So you want to follow those teams that are important, that you need to know about everything that is happening with them. But you don't want to follow every team and every channel. But within here, I have the ability to follow this team and say, I want to know when something happens in here. You can also, by typing the @ symbol, you can send a call out. So on this one, if I say @Tom, how are you today? What that does is it sends Tom a message where he's going to get a little pop-up on his computer. So then I make sure that he's able to see that. So the @ symbol is a really good way of tagging somebody. You can also tag an entire group. So if I say at Teams Demo Collab and I type something here, then Tom and Jenny both will get that pop-up notification to let them know that I'm trying to reach out to them.
Just another great way to stay connected and again, collaborate.
Yes. So now that we know how to communicate back and forth with each other on this, another really important feature of Teams and the collaboration side of it are the files. So if I go to files here, this gives me the ability to save files here that then Tom and Jenny can also collaborate on. We can actually be making changes to those at the same time. So you can add a new Word doc, a new Excel workbook. So you can see this is tied directly into your other Office 365 applications that you have, and they sync seamlessly together. I can upload. So let's say I want to add the PowerPoint from the beginning of our demo here. So now we have that PowerPoint saved in here where Tom, Jenny, and I can each open this up and make changes to it and work on it together. If I open this, it opens directly within Teams, but there are also multiple other options in here. So if I don't want to make the changes within here, I can always up here at the top say open in desktop app, and that pops it right out and opens it in PowerPoint like you would normally do.
And you can see Carrie grabbed that from her desktop, but there's, wherever you have files, you can select the file location and upload it to Teams.
That's correct. It also has the ability up here to do more things like create a wiki or all these other different types of applications that it can be tied into. Maybe we want to put an OneNote document on here that we can all add ideas to and collaborate on. All of those different types of things are available within your team on Teams. Okay, so that's the Teams within Teams in a nutshell. Okay, so the last feature of Teams that we're going to show in this video is Activity, which is located again here along the left side. The activity screen gives you a really quick, easy way of seeing all of the conversations that you've been a part of recently. It also shows in bold anything that still needs action from you or things that you haven't looked at yet. So these are the things that I still need to read. And you can see right here at the top, I have a missed call from Brian. So let's go ahead and Tom and I will call Brian. So I'm going to click on the show participants here and conference Brian in. So if I type Brian's name, you can see it pops up his contact record and immediately starts to call him.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, Brian. We saw we had a missed call from you.
Well, yeah, I was calling to discuss the upcoming video that will show how to use Teams as an organization's phone system, something that our clients and other people might be interested in. So what I was going to say was that Teams is a tool where you can, no matter where you're working from, you can use all of the features such as chat and Teams chats and calendars and phone systems specifically that will help people no matter where they're working from. So that's what I was looking to do, is to show you how they can use it at their home office or on their phones where all of the features are still available. So perhaps that'll be something that people will be interested for the next video.
That's great. So in the next video, we will be talking about the Teams phones and calendar options. Thank you, Brian.
Sounds like a cool subject to discuss a little further. In this video, we just scratched the surface of the features in Teams, so let's keep it going.
Sounds good. I look forward to the next round.
Okay. Sounds good, Brian.
All right.
Thanks, Carrie.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom.
Bye.
Okay, that's a wrap.